Born and bred in Tuscaloosa, not raised in Baton Rouge. Didn't ride no wagon train to Norman or to Boone. They said I'd never make it, just a name they overlook. Now I'm burning up their game plans and ripping up their books. No 5-star shine, no silver spoon. I came up grinding on a Friday night moves. Now they feel me coming like a 4th down blitz. Got them talking sideways, throwing fits. But I must admit, I can't quit. 'Cause I'm the outlaw of college football. Ain't no stripes can hold me back. I don't need their legacy or no booster money stack. I don't bow to no tradition. Ain't no handshake deals I need. I just play for pride, for fire, and the will to make them bleed. I ain't on your media darlings list. No Heisman hype, no clean-cut script. But every time that whistle blows, I leave my soul out on that road. They talk about dynasties and brands, but I built mine with my own hands. Ain't got no statue, no parade, just broken dreams and lines I've laid. I'm the outlaw of college football.
Woo! And here we go again. I've done this one at the last minute because I've been having some issues with Notre Dame fans. I never thought I would see the day that someone would cry and wet their diapers more profusely than all those USC Skittle shitters from back in the day when I used to grill old Lincoln Riley on the regular, old TBOW, as the Oklahoma people like to call him acronymically, which means the bitch out west. But Notre Dame is more than just a bitch out west. They're the bitch everywhere. I mean, everybody's punking Notre Dame these days. Even the Skittle shitters have punked out Notre Dame. Everybody will have you believe that Notre Dame is the one that's got everybody punked. That's what all these Notre Dame fans keep telling me in there. Oh, we're living rent-free in your head, JPC. You ain't living rent-free in my head, brothers and sisters out there at Touchdown Jesus. Y'all are living rent-free in your own head. I just don't get it, man. I don't understand where y'all coming from with this rent-free shit. And by the way, I mean, that catchphrase went out in 2003 probably, maybe 2004. Y'all need to pay some rent, man. That's the problem, man. Y'all been mooching off of college football for the past 80 years. The curtain was drawn back this past season when you didn't get in the playoff and you went out there and decided, you know what, you're going to throw a temper tantrum and not go to a bowl game. Now we're like, well, you know what, we really don't need y'all because we filled those bowl slots anyway. Georgia Tech went down there and took your place against BYU. But here's the misconception, and I hate to have to take up for the USC Skittle shitters, but it ain't all USC's fault here. Number one, everybody should quit to schedule Notre Dame since they want to throw a temper tantrum if they don't get their way, and since they want an automatic bid if they finish in the top 12, which they're the only team that has an automatic bid. They should definitely not schedule them anymore. Nobody should schedule these guys. Anybody in the Power Four should not schedule them, and they will join the conference. They keep saying they're not going to join the conference. They're independent. But back to USC for a second. USC's not at fault here. Not completely. Man, they're a little bit at fault. But Notre Dame was offered an option to play USC. They don't want you knowing that. But they was offered an option to play, and they didn't want to. They offered Notre Dame to play in week 0 in August. If you want to play them, Notre Dame, why don't you play them? Anytime, any place, right? That's Notre Dame's little motto, right? Is that their motto or is that somebody else's motto they stole? Because we know they stole Oklahoma's play like a champion sign. So you tell me, Notre Dame, where'd you steal that motto from? Because you won't play anybody, any place, anytime, anywhere. If USC is willing to play you in freaking May on Mother's Day, then play them if you want to play them so bad, but you don't. You don't really want to play them. But here's the thing, Notre Dame, fixing to be pushed out, like I told you before in these last podcasts. But y'all will not believe the heat that I've gotten from all these crazy ass Catholics on there, man. It ain't really got nothing to do with Catholics per se, but it's like Notre Dame, the university itself, hides behind Catholicism. But the big news of the day that I really like is the fact that Michigan has supposedly decided to name their head coach. They have, this is not official, but from what I'm hearing, they have given Kyle Whittingham, the former coach at Utah, who retired suspiciously. I think he was forced out because they thought he was too old. 66 years old, thought he was past his prime, pushed him out. He wasn't ready to go. And now he's at Michigan. He's going to get a 5-year deal, I'm hearing, somewhere along the lines of maybe, I want to say $15 million for 5 years, something like that. But by the way, who was the first batter today was Big Kev, 1994. You want to check Big Kev out. He's a Clemson Tiger, by the way. He says go Clemson Tigers. But a little slow tonight. It's Friday night. I didn't think there'd be much traffic in here, but I just wanted to come in here and shoot the shit about some college football. You got Michigan getting a new head coach. And Indiana. What's up with the Indiana people, man? Talking all this mad smack to Alabama about they're the new money, man. Y'all barely made any money. Y'all can't be new money if you ain't done anything yet. Y'all made the playoffs last year, and you got your ass basically beat down by Notre Dame, the other Indiana team. And yeah, the score was not indicative of how badly Notre Dame dominated that game. Indiana has not really played anybody that great. People say where they played, Oregon and Ohio State. Ohio State, I'll give them. Oregon, not so much. We don't know how good Oregon is. Because Oregon ain't played a plethora of great teams either. They had a very weak non-conference schedule. Everybody wants to talk shit about the SEC not scheduling, but the SEC's been scheduling Power Fours for the past 20 years. Alabama scheduled one early in the season every year. They get into semantics and want to bitch and whine and complain about when we play our cupcake. What does it matter when you play the cupcake? It's actually smarter to play your cupcake in November like the SEC does, because if you got a bunch of banged up players, you can play your third and fourth string, get them valuable reps, and rest your starters for the stretch run against your chief rival and usually maybe an SEC title game. That's smart. Even though those championship games need to go away. The SEC title, that shit needs to go away. All that shit needs to go away. But Roll Tide Roll says Big Kev, Holy Alliance is in the house. Hey, if y'all don't mind, smash the like button down there if you want to. It'll help get more people up in here, and y'all tell me what y'all want to talk about tonight as well. We got about 19 or 20 people in here right now already. It says Friday night, so it's going to be a little slow to begin with. People's probably out and about doing things. I usually like to do my shit on Saturday night, but I just wanted to come in here and try it out. But y'all drop in the comment section and tell me what y'all have to say about college football in general, or anything that you want to talk about, because I'll talk about anything. I'll talk about politics and anything. By the way, my channel did get remonetized, so if you want to give a super chat or you want to donate to the channel through a super chat on YouTube, you can do that now. I'm probably going to restart the Outlaw Posse membership thing. I think there's still a few people in it. You get a badge and get deputized, and you'll get a random Four Horsemen shout out on the actual podcast, or maybe even on here as well. Let's see what we got up in here. Like I said, it's a pretty slow night. Sitting here talking about college football in general. Alabama, Michigan. Michigan got a new head coach. What do y'all think about the Kyle Whittingham hire? It's not technically official, but ESPN and everybody's reporting it, so more than likely Kyle Whittingham will be introduced as the new Michigan head coach either tomorrow or Sunday or Monday or sometimes this weekend or Monday is my guess on that. So the rumor that Michigan was waiting around on DeBoer has probably been shot to hell. So all the Alabama haters out there that were wanting Alabama to lose their coach, that shit's not going to happen, at least not by Michigan. Now, there is one thing that could happen that people have brought up, and that is that Kalen DeBoer has not signed his contracts. That's why they thought that maybe he was waiting, him and Michigan were waiting each other out for after this playoff run by Alabama. But since he hadn't signed his contract yet, it may not be Michigan that he's thinking about. It could be an NFL job. Kalen DeBoer coaches an NFL-esque type offense. So it would not surprise me if an NFL team went after Kalen DeBoer. Kalen DeBoer could be a candidate for numerous positions. If the Seattle Seahawks job came open, that would definitely probably be a place that Kalen DeBoer would want to go. His family really liked Seattle, from what I understand. I don't know that for a fact, but from what I understand, they liked Seattle. I think his daughter continued to play for the Huskies up there on their softball team or volleyball team or whatever sport that she was in. So if the Seahawks job came open, which it probably ain't, that would definitely be a big worry for Alabama. But there is rumor the Tennessee Titans could be interested in Kalen DeBoer as well. As I discussed earlier, Notre Dame's losing their bowels. I've never seen a fan base lose their bowels as much as Notre Dame. But anything y'all got, any input y'all got to put on that in Notre Dame and how they're crying, wetting their diapers, claiming everybody, we're living rent-free in everybody's head, yada, 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 their whole 2003 overused adage. That's the Notre Dame-esque. Because they ain't won a national title since 1988. Nobody's worried about Notre Dame anymore. Notre Dame may have just screwed themselves by just not going to a bowl game and just showing everybody that we really don't need you, Notre Dame. We really don't. As you know, the Oklahoma Sooners is another team we discuss on here quite frequently. I was wanting to ask the Sooners how they felt about the end of the season. Their loss to Alabama was a pretty epic loss, and the way they lost it, they were up 17-0. That had to sting just a little bit. To be up 17-0, you're probably feeling pretty good about yourself, thinking you're going to advance to the second round of the playoffs to play Indiana, and it blew up. The thing I want to ask y'all about Oklahoma and Brent Venables is this. We all know that Oklahoma had a lot of turnovers in the Tennessee game that they converted into points, as well as Alabama. They didn't really beat those teams up physically or dominate Tennessee or Alabama. They had a questionable call go their way against Auburn. So a lot of people are thinking that maybe they skirted by with 3 lucky wins. So this is what I'm getting from a lot of the Oklahoma people out there, actual Oklahoma people saying it. And, of course, the Oklahoma haters are saying it as well. That maybe it was a mirage. Maybe it's 10-3 season is going to be followed by another 6-7 season. As you know, Brent Venables went 10-3 2 years ago and followed it up with 6-7. Is it possible that those 3 lucky wins were a mirage that masked this thing for Brent Venables, and maybe in the future Brent Venables may not be the long-term solution at Oklahoma? That's what people are telling me on the Oklahoma side. These are Oklahoma people saying to me that even though he went 10-3, there were a lot of lucky wins, and that maybe Brent Venables, they're still not convinced that Brent Venables is the man for the job. Denizen 9998's in the house. Denizen says, Sooner fans saying Roll Tide beat Indiana makes Oklahoma and the rest of the SEC look great. Appreciate your support, Denizen. I would do the same for Oklahoma if Oklahoma had beaten Alabama a second time in the season. That would really stung. Y'all talking about a stinging loss. You know, at least y'all beat us once. We would have been 0-2, 0-3 against y'all since y'all joined the SEC if we had lost that game, which would really stung. Lad, LLL, says, proud of OU. The loss stung. I'm going to bring it up for Lad. Lad says, proud of OU. The loss stung, but we beat Bama. Don't forget. Oh, I ain't forgot. I ain't forgot, brother. I ain't forgot y'all beat us on homecoming. And I'm not going to forget it. We won't play Oklahoma next year, but the next time we play y'all, we're going to beat y'all again. We deserve to beat Oklahoma twice for that loss. Y'all come into our house and beat us on homecoming. So we deserve to beat y'all twice, Lad. Lad also says there's no lucky wins, just wins. No mirage in my world. Well, I'm just telling you that I'm not going to name any names, but I've in private messages, some Oklahoma fans brought to my attention that they think maybe there was probably about 3 lucky wins this past year, and had he lost those 3 games, if he had lost Alabama, Alabama had them doubled up and everything in that first game in Tuscaloosa, and had Alabama won that game, which they probably should have, Oklahoma would have never made the playoffs. We wouldn't have seen a rematch because Oklahoma wouldn't have gotten the playoffs because they wouldn't have went to the SEC title game. Even though they had 3 losses, just like Alabama, they wouldn't win because they didn't participate in the title game. Hope Sims is in the house. What's up, Hope Sims? Hope Sims says no such thing as 3 lucky wins. Well, there's only 2, Sims. It was just 2. Y'all beat us, what was it? Yeah, y'all beat us this year and y'all beat us last year. We beat y'all at the 3rd match. So it wasn't really 3 lucky wins. It was just 2 lucky wins, I guess. Oh, I see what you're talking about. You're talking about Tennessee and Auburn. My bad. I thought you were talking about just Alabama, Oklahoma head-to-head. I'm just telling you what they're telling me, what they're saying to me. Don't get mad at me. I know I'm not an Oklahoma fan. Maybe perceived that maybe I'm trolling, but I'm not trolling. I'm just repeating what people have been saying to me and just asking y'all if it's a majority thing with the Oklahoma fans in that maybe y'all think that Oklahoma got a little bit lucky this year in the fact that they made the playoffs and that maybe in long term, Brent Venables is not the man for the job. And I mean, offense does look pretty putrid. I know everybody tries to blame Ben Affleck for that or John Mateer, but I'm not too sure it's all their fault, to be honest with you. And I think it should be. I know a lot of people weren't really happy with John Mateer at the end of the season, but he was coming off that surgery. I don't think he was ever the same after that surgery. Give him a full season to recuperate, get really, 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 really healthy, and John Mateer comes back for another season. I think John Mateer will be really good unless he gets injured again. I think it would be in y'all's best interest if John Mateer does come back because he was a great quarterback the first 3 or 4 games of the season. After that surgery, he hasn't been the same. Lad, LLL says, our team is solid and we are poised for another great season. I hope you're right. The Baja Blast for you says, by the way, I love Baja Blast. You make me want one now, man. I'm going to go get me a Mexican pizza and a Baja Blast from Taco Bell. Just because of you, man. Great name. Baja Blast for you says Mateer looked laser sharp the first quarter, then the shit just fell apart, sadly. That's because they say Womack made some adjustments, saw something, made some adjustments, and started putting more pressure on Mateer, which I don't understand why that wasn't the case from the get-go. Me and a buddy of mine was sitting here watching the game at my house. We were saying, why ain't they pressuring this guy? You just let him sit back there and pick you apart, dude. You got to put some pressure on Mateer, man. Lad says some Sooner fans are fair weather fans just like some Bama fans are. Well, I wouldn't call them fair weather fans. I would just call it them having a difference of opinion than a view, Lad. And I'm not too sure that Brett Venables is the man for the long-term job either because he can't get the offense. He can't get the offense right. And yeah, I know he's a great defensive coordinator, but if you're the head coach, you're the CEO, you're supposed to be over the whole program, not just defense, the whole program. And now we got a Nebraska Cornhusker in the house. Larry Trowicki's in the house. He says, Corn in here. I had to pull for the Big Ten, Outlaw. Well, I mean, it is your conference, so you do have to pull for them. That is correct. Although I will say that Nebraska should have never joined the Big Ten. Nebraska has the kind of culture and the tradition and atmosphere of an SEC school, in my opinion, Larry Trollwicki. Speaking of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, is your basketball team still undefeated? I haven't checked here lately, but last I heard they were like 10-0 or something. But Dylan Raiola, is he still transferring? Did he transfer? Is he in the transfer portal? Is Dylan Raiola in the transfer portal officially? I haven't really checked back on that either, Larry. And where is Dylan Raiola going to head? Is it because his uncle got fired or something? Lad said you had me at Taco Bell, to sort of play on words from Jerry Maguire. You had me at hello. You had me at Taco Bell. Mexican pizza, baby. What's y'all's favorite Taco Bell? Now they got a great $2 menu, man. Great $2 menu. Larry Trollwicki says that the Nebraska Cornhuskers are 12-0 right now in college basketball. We'll talk about college basketball too if you want. My team Alabama's doing pretty decent. We've had a really hard schedule, but we've come through it pretty decent. I think we're like 8-3 or something like that. Alabama plays Yale this Monday, and then we start SEC play here in Tuscaloosa against the Kentucky Wildcats. So that'll be epic. Denizen says Bob Stoops was also a defensive coordinator at Florida, yet he put it all together and not just the defense. That's true. So what is Brent Venables' excuse? Why can't he put it together like Bob Stoops? Now, I know a lot of people give Bob Stoops grief. A lot of Oklahoma fans don't like Bob Stoops because he only won one national title and he could never win another one after that. But, there's lots of coaches. There's lots of coaches out there that have never won a national title. So at least Bob Stoops did win one, right? Larry Trollwicki says Raiola is gone. So who is going to be Nebraska's quarterback now? Are y'all going to go in the transfer portal and try to grab one? Or do y'all have one on your roster now that can step up and take Raiola's place for Nebraska? If you don't mind, smash the like button. Share me out. We have been remonetized, so if you want to hit the little money dollar sign down there, I think it's down there. Y'all tell me if that money dollar sign's down there because they're supposed to put it back down there. If you want to get your comment pushed to the top where I can read your comment out above everybody else's, hit that little money dollar sign down there that's circled or either in a square. Write your comment out first, then hit click a second time. Click on it, write your comment out, then click a second time, and it'll send. Lad says, I am not sure your Bama coach is all that great. He has been skating on thin ice his whole tenure, and Bama fans have been ready to fire him after each loss, so I will take Brent V anytime. Well, that's why we are living in the greatest country in the world, supposedly. And it's freedom of speech and freedom to believe what you want to believe. I can tell you this. Overall, I don't think that Brent Venables is better than Kalen DeBoer. I just don't. Kalen DeBoer's got his stuff. Kalen DeBoer's an offensive-minded coach. He's got his stuff together over on defense. Our offense has been struggling here as of late. A lot of injuries at the end of the year. Getting healthy. Got healthy against Oklahoma. Put 34 points on Brent Venables' defense. So I think that DeBoer is probably a better coach than Brent Venables. To be honest with you, neither one of them is great. Both of them are good coaches, but neither one of them is considered great, at least not yet. Larry Trollwicki says he does not know where Raiola will end up. Maybe Miami, says Larry Trollwicki. Corrections 101 is in the house. Hey, Corrections, if you don't mind, brother, look down there and see that money dollar signs down there. They're supposed to add it back. They remonetized my channel on Christmas Day of all days. Merry Christmas to me from YouTube. Even though y'all censored me and screwed yourself out of money, to be quite honest with you. Michael Pierce, 6153, says he loved the Alabama fans in Norman. Very similar fan bases. Though we lost, it was a great day. Every time Oklahoma comes down here, we usually have a pretty good rapport with those guys. Although your players did show a little bit of disrespect with the whole logo situation. Number 4 spitting on the logo. That sort of manifested itself a little bit, pissed Alabama off, and they might have had a little motivation to go to Norman and win that game. More so because of some of that crap. But for the most part, Oklahoma fans and Alabama fans, we all get along. We got 39 people in here right now. If you don't mind, smash the like button and share us out. Get this party bigger. Get it crunk. You got 24 people on X, and we got 13 people on YouTube. A total of 37. Donnie, 2832 in the house. Donnie says, a lot of former USC players are not happy with Lincoln Riley about not scheduling Notre Dame. He's taking the blame. I normally don't take up for Linky Boy, but this time I think Linky Boy and USC's in the right. A lot of people, popular opinion is that USC ran from Notre Dame, when that's really not the case. USC offered to play Notre Dame in week 0. Notre Dame didn't want to do it. Why did they want to do it? They want to go back to Ireland and play a game in Ireland or something? That's fine too. USC and Notre Dame could play in Ireland in that little kickoff classic they have every year. So this ain't all USC. And as far as Keyshawn Johnson calling out Lincoln Riley, that's like pick your poison, brother. Keyshawn Johnson is a piece of shit. He's a loudmouth jackass. And I don't know how else to say it, man. That's it. I can't sugarcoat it for you. I'm not a big fan of those loudmouth crackheads I got over here on ESPN, man. Keyshawn Johnson. I don't know what network he's on. He may not be on ESPN, but he's still a loudmouth. Just like Stephen A. Smith and Ryan Clark and all those other race baiting cowards that they got over there. Yeah, my demonetization was over, Jennison, but I had to get reapproved. And it took them till December 25th to reapprove me. Now they finally approved me. They're supposed to have reapproved me. They got on there that my videos are actually drawing monetization. But I don't know. Did they add the money dollar sign at the bottom down there where people can do super chats? I don't know. I can't see it from here. Y'all let me know, Dennison, in the comment section whether the super chat thing is down at the bottom now. I don't know if it's up there. I might have to go in there and add it somehow. Mike LaSure, 1178, says, I think Venables is a good defensive coordinator, but not for a head coach. I agree, Mike. I'm starting to think the same thing. Like I said, there's a few wins this year that maybe Oklahoma got some lucky breaks in. I know that Ladd don't like us saying that, but still love Ladd. Ladd says some good stuff. Ladd's got some good comments he makes in here. But, yeah, I pretty much agree with that, Mike. Lane, 2268, says coach's value is a matter of why you play the game. True. Oh, it's not there? Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to have to go and add it. That's what I thought, man. They're a bunch of assholes. We got a bunch of new members now coming in here. Everybody's signing. Oh, you can sign up to the Outlaw Posse as well. It's $2.99 a month. As you can see here, Corrections 101 is just re-upped. We can reform the Outlaw Posse. Get your Outlaw Posse memberships, not $2.99 a month. We will have a random Four Horsemen shout out. And you'll get a badge and you'll be deputized and you'll be an Outlaw Posse. Yep, the money dollar sign is there. Correction says the money dollar sign is there at the bottom. So Correction sees it, but Dennison don't. But I appreciate y'all rejoining the Outlaw Posse. Y'all let your friends know that the Outlaw Posse is back up and running, and they can get their badge, get deputized, and I can give you a random Four Horsemen shout out as well as possibly Add some more incentives as well. I'm thinking about trying to order some more of those hats up there, those OCF hats maybe. Black Raider Steel says, put all these false media narratives and Miami hate aside. When you rocking with the U, you know what to do. Show your daddy Mario Cristobal support through those U-ups. Happy holidays. The standard is the U. Let me tell you something, Black Raider Steel. You don't normally root for the U, but for you, brother, and because you're playing Ohio Stank, and y'all owe Ohio Stank from getting ripped off in the 2003 national title game, don't you, Black Raider? But here you go. There you go, Black Raider. You won't see me do this much, but just for you, Black Raider, there's the U. Hope y'all beat Ohio Stank, and maybe, just maybe, y'all be playing in the national title game in your backyard, because the national title game is in Miami, Black Raider Steel. And who knows? It might be Alabama in Miami. My team and your team. Last time we played y'all, though, we beat you pretty good. Last 2 times we played y'all, we beat y'all. Got it now. Oh, yeah, there we go. They got their badges now. See the star, boy. There's the star. There's Denizen. Coaches, the chess master players are the chess pieces. Yeah, and if the chess master is not a good master, then the chess pieces aren't going to move correctly. And that's what some Oklahoma fans have been telling me. They ain't going to come out and say it, a lot of them, because they're afraid they'll get attacked by those of y'all that don't agree with them. Me, I don't care if you attack me or not. I get attacked all the time, and then lost almost 20 subscribers just because Alabama beat Oklahoma. Go figure. Go figure. But I see 38 people in here. If you don't mind, smash the like button. Y'all throw some comments in here. Y'all don't be shy. If y'all want to be on the show, hell, I can put a link in here. And y'all can come in here and be on the show if you want to. Does anybody want to be on the show tonight? Lad says he can't see the dollar sign. Might have to get that fixed. There's 2 people that say they can't see the dollar sign. So we'll see. Let me go on my YouTube right here and see what's going on. Well, I can see it right here. Yeah, memberships, unlock member perks, blah blah blah. Membership gifting. That's all they got right now. Okay. There's a money dollar sign down there by where you type, but it's just, I think, just memberships right now. Yeah, it's at the right next to where you post, bottom right says Denizen. So yeah, if you want to join the Outlaw Posse, you can click that. As far as donating through Super Chats, I don't know if that's available yet. We'll see. That's why I come on here tonight to test it out just to see if it was working. But going back to Notre Dame for a little bit. They've been attacking me left and right, by the way. They were some USC fans. Maybe not. I might take that back. They may not be as bad as USC, but they're a close second. Because USC's, their fans actually called my daughter while she was pregnant and told her I was a bitch and hung up on her. That's the kind of people USC fans are. Well, yeah. So y'all tell me, what do y'all think about that Michigan coach hire? We'll go back to that for a second. Michigan hired Kyle Whittingham. Utah thought he was washed up, forced him out, claimed he retired, but we all know he was forced out. Kyle is a little bit up in age now. I will defend Utah in saying that he is 66 years old, but he hadn't really been slipping that badly. I mean, he was still going, what were they, 8-4 or something? I don't know, man. I mean, he is a little up in age, so he's probably going to be, he got a 5-year contract. I think he'll probably do the 5 years, and then it'd be like a long interim thing for Michigan. And, Michigan and Penn State looked real shaky when they fired their coaches, but I think they both recovered rather nicely, to be honest with you. To get Kyle Whittingham is a big coup. You can get 3 or 4 years out of him, and then, that way you can get stable and then hire another good coach to replace Kyle Whittingham. Michigan may be back to contending for national titles. Penn State, Got rid of James Franklin, which I thought they needed to. A lot of people didn't think they needed to get rid of James, but James Franklin, I never liked him. And first it looked like they weren't going to get a good coach. Then they got Matt Campbell of Iowa State. I think that was a good hire. Matt Campbell has done all he could do at Iowa State. No, he didn't win any. He didn't win. Did he have 1 10-win season at Iowa State? I can't remember. But for the most part, he was averaging 7 or 8 wins a year. At Iowa State, that's a good thing. That's very good at Iowa State. And if you had the 1 10-win season, that's even better. So I think Penn State and Michigan, as much as a lot of us don't like them, I do like Michigan. I don't really like Penn State. They may have landed on their feet quite nicely. Next year, Michigan and Penn State, they'll have their little transition period with their coach. But 2 or 3 years down the road, I could see Penn State and Michigan contending for the national title again. John Ritchie's in the house. What's up, JPC? He says, what's up, John Ritchie? There's a $20 sign down there, but I don't know if it'll let you do the super chats. If y'all want a super chat, you want to push your comment to the top and me address you first, click that $20 sign and see if it'll let you do a super chat. If it won't, I think it'll let you join the Outlaw Posse for $2.99 a month if you want that random Four Horsemen shout out on the actual podcast, as well as getting your badge and getting deputized and other perks that are coming. Dennison says he has a better job. Saban was 73 when he retired. That's right. I think 70. Actually, he might have been 72, and he's now 73. He may have been 70. I think he was 72, though, and he turned 73 right after his next birthday. But if Kyle Whittingham's 66 and Saban retired when he's 72, that's a good 5 or 6 years that you can get out of him and stabilize the program and possibly get a coaching waiting kind of deal for Michigan. Although I'm not a big fan of the coaching waiting thing either. Donnie, 2832, says, do you think other schools will not schedule Notre Dame since they now have the almost guaranteed playoff spot? You might be, that's what I've been saying, Donnie. USC, other Power 4 schools didn't take their lead. Alabama's actually, my team has Notre Dame scheduled, I think, in 2028 and 2029. If I was Alabama, I'd drop them. And that way, that guaranteed playoff spot that they're talking about, that requires them getting in the top 12. If the committee doesn't rank Notre Dame in the top 12 because they have to play a bunch of MAC schools, then they're not going to get that automatic bid. Even if they were to go 10-2 or 11-1, if they have to play a bunch of MAC schools, they're not going to rank them in the top 12. So that's why I said everybody needs to stop scheduling. It ain't because we're scared of you, Notre Dame. They come and say, oh, y'all scared of us. No, we're not scared of you. Matter of fact, most of the time we beat you. I know my team, Alabama, has beat you like a homecoming opponent twice this century on big stages when you were supposed to be good. So I just stopped scheduling. They can call us scared all they want. We know it's not what it is. We're just trying to make them do the right thing. They're religious schools, so they should know what the right thing to do is. The right thing to do is join a damn conference like everybody else. You shouldn't have one team being able to get preferential treatment. They didn't get preferential treatment this year, and they lost their damn noodle. John Ritchie said, I think that's right. I think that 1 10-win season was the year they lost to OU in the Big 12 championship. And I think he did have 1 10-win season. It might have even been 11-win season, or it could have been 9-win season. I know it was close to 10 wins one year at Iowa State, and that's a great job. Off and on, you can do well at Iowa State. Some coaches have, some coaches haven't. A lot of people think Gene Chizik done good there because he went to Auburn, but he actually sucked there. He went 4-8, and he only went to Auburn because he had Pat Dye ties. But back in the day, Dan McCartney, if some of y'all are old enough to remember, He actually had pretty good seasons at Iowa State. Went to a couple bowl games, played Alabama in the Independence Bowl, which I went to, and they missed a field goal and they claimed they made it, but they didn't. Lori's in the house. Oh, Starbucks girl. What's up, Starbucks? We're going to start calling Lori Starbucks because she left at halftime one time of the Oklahoma game to get Starbucks and then come back to the fourth quarter. She missed the whole third quarter for some damn Starbucks. Can you believe that? Y'all need to get a good old Oklahoma Sooner leather belt and whoop Lori's ass next time she misses the third quarter for some Starbucks. Denizen 9998 has his badge. He's deputized. If y'all want to get your badge like Denizen, join the Outlaw Posse. $2.99 a month. $75 a week. I ain't said it. Wow, $75. $75. 75 cents a week. Somebody scared y'all off, didn't I? Just a half a bottle of water for the Outlaw. 75 cents a week. $2.99 a month. That's right. Denizen said how old was Bowden when he retired? I think he was 80. Lori just said it, 80. He was up there. I think Eddie Robinson, he had a lot of wins. Well, he was going 4-7 every year. But towards the end, I think Eddie Robinson at Grambling was 83 or something. That was a long time ago, Outlaw. Yeah, well, I don't know if it's a long time ago now. Maybe in internet years. They say in dog years. Maybe in internet years is a long time to you, Lord, but that was just a couple of years ago now. That about have been last year. Shit. You Starbucks in your way out of the third quarter. I ain't forgotten. I ain't gonna let you forget. Yeah, I know what you done it for. I was mad because we were losing. Too bad. You gotta stick with your team, sister. Come on now. You can't be leaving your team just because they're losing. Yeah, if I was going to leave, my team would have left them in the first quarter when that Oklahoma was just spanking our ass. I thought it was over. I was mad as hell. I was like, hell yeah, Kellen the boy wants to go to Michigan. Go right ahead, brother. We ain't going to stop you. Getting your ass blowed out by Oklahoma again. Got blowed out by last year, 24-3, because Jalen Milroe didn't want to play. Went and tried to tackle a guy, looked like he was flying a kite. It was a couple of years ago, Outlaw. Well, I'm saying, man, it's not that long ago. Just a year or two ago. You Starbucks on us. So, the playoffs. Playoffs? You ain't talking about playoffs? Playoffs? Notre Dame? Playoffs? Who was that guy done that for New Orleans? He's New Orleans coach, wasn't he? Can't remember his damn name now. What was his name? Notre Dame ain't gonna never make the playoffs. They ain't gonna have no Power 4 teams on their schedule anymore, except for Purdue. Shit. How is it Notre Dame's chief rivals in the Big Ten are mid-carders? Now, they used to play Michigan quite a bit, but then they stopped playing them off and on. Why didn't they stop playing Michigan State and keep Michigan? They have had Michigan State on their schedule every year since like the 1940s or 50s. They've had Purdue on their schedule every year. Stanford. Come on, man. Why you got those teams on your schedule every year? I know why, because they're easy wins. Now, Navy, I got to give Notre Dame kudos on Navy. They promised Navy that they would schedule them every year just because, they're one of the armed forces academies that play, and it really helps Navy fund their football program. So they promised to play Navy for infinity and beyond, as the great Buzz Lightyear once said. They promised to play Navy from now on out. I'll give them Navy. But I'm not giving you Stanford and Purdue and Michigan State, man. Michigan State made the playoffs one year. What they'll say. Michigan State sometimes good. Yeah, sometimes, but not most of the time. Y'all be playing some shit, man. I hope Alabama backs out of that game. Once again, because we're scared, but we want to make sure you do the right thing. Get your ass in the conference. That shit, oh, it's tradition. We're independent. No, y'all not independent at all. Y'all need us. Notre Dame needs all of us. College football, Alabama, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Michigan, USC. They need us to survive. Okay? So let's force them to join the conference. Let's force them. Make them join the conference. You know what I'm saying? Because they have to schedule a bunch of MAC teams. They're not going to get in the top 12. They're just going to be done. Hell, they can't even beat the MAC. The last 2 times they played a MAC school, they've lost. They lost to Northern Illinois last year, and they lost to Marshall 2 years ago. So, just saying. All right, I just wanted to come here and test this out since I got remonetized to see if things were working out. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And also, like I said before, you can join the Outlaw Posse if you just hit the little money dollar sign down there. You get your badge and get deputized like Denizen and the other guys in here, Corrections 101, and get a random 4 horseman shout out on the actual podcast. KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now dismissed.